Hi everyone, I am Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and I am so excited to be working on a little series that was inspired by my work with the Antique Anatomy Tarot study in the Abundant Life Tarot group in Facebook. Definitely check it out and join in because we're doing a lot and having fun. I decided to take certain parts of this guidebook and use it as inspiration for video content to share with you. And in today's video, we're going to discuss the elements in the tarot. So if this intrigues you, thinking about things such as the earth element, the fire, the air, the water, and you're wondering how to incorporate these elements into your tarot reading practice, or even your oracle reading practice for that matter, stay tuned. Okay, we're getting into the tarot and elements. And the first element I want to dive into is water, the water energy. And in the Antique Anatomy Tarot, the water element, or the suit of cups, is the suit of elixirs. Elixirs, like with your medicines, your herbal remedies, your tinctures, and they have these little labels on there with what's in the bottle. So elixirs, suit of elixirs. And I absolutely love the name that the Antique Anatomy Tarot has for this suit. And the major arcana that's associated with the water element is the High Priestess, the Chariot, the Hanged Man, Death card, the Moon card, and Judgment, which interestingly can be associated with the fire element. And the water element represents emotions, matters of the heart, and of course, relationships. And water energy can be calm, it can become or be stagnant energy. It can be fast moving, or it could be rough and treacherous. And there can be emotions of elation or loss with the element of water. So I have some cards here. I have 6 major arcana card, and I have 4 cards from the suit of elixirs to share with you. Let's check them out. All right, let's get into the cards. Let's get into the water element and what the Antique Anatomy Tarot has to say about it. First up is the High Priestess. This is a card for me personally, when I'm working with it, represents the astrological sign of Cancer. And I love that the creator associated this card with the water element because Cancer is a water sign. So that was, for me, an easy transition, from working with like a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck or a clone. I was able to be like, oh, okay, this is associated with the Cancer sign. I do timing in my tarot readings. I enjoy doing timing, although, some people shy away from it. I enjoy it. But more importantly, I love to help people with timing on when it's optimal to work on a particular manifestation that they're trying to birth. Okay, that they are needing some assistance with managing their perception around that birth. So the High Priestess is one of these water element cards. Totally makes sense. The reason why I mentioned the tarot color associations is because you can check out the time-stamped white color and then green, and be able to take that information, tie it in with the numerological associations. Also did a video on that. Tie it into the elements, the water elements, and what you know about water energy, about, emotions, how it deals with relationships, such things as, heart matters and all of that, loss and boredom. When you're able to understand all of that and put it all together in a reading, it is like really profound and like aha moment and super exciting. All right, moving on to the next card is the Chariot. The Chariot for me is also associated with the season of, or not just the season, I guess it would be like early summer, which is for me astrologically Cancer season. And this is associated with the water element. This jives with me and my timing situation that I have going on personally for when I'm doing readings. So I love that. And I love this depiction of the Chariot. Because when you take a look at the Tarot Color Associations video, you look at color black, you look at green, you look at this red color, and from, your basic understandings of the Chariot, you're able to put it together and just be able to have an amazing reading. I want to hear from you in the comments section about how you combine that information in a reading and what were the results. Okay, I want to hear from you. We have the Hanged Man. For me, the Hanged Man represents the astrological sign of Pisces. So Pisces timing when you've got the Hanged Man. Okay. Death is represented by Scorpio season. So Scorpio season for me is like October 20th, like 21st to like November 20th. There's some change, give or take a couple of days. Scorpio season, water sign, the moon representing for me, and loving that it's also a water element card in this deck. The moon is representing Pisces season, so like late February, early to mid-March. The moon in terms of timing. And then Judgment. We've got Judgment. Loving this Judgment card. Interesting that the creator's like, let's put the Judgment in the water and fire elements. Let's just do that. For me, with the Judgment card, I'm just going to mention it here, is that I associate the timing of October 21st to November 20th. That is what I always associate the Judgment timing with. So when I come across guidebooks that have information that doesn't really go with what I'm doing or believe in, I just move on and take what I can from what they offer in their book, in their offering, in their deck, whatever, and leave the rest behind. It's that simple. It's that simple. And then you can just check out the Tarot Color Associations for this like purpley color and gain some additional insights on how to work with this card. It's quite brilliant when you think about like pip decks. When you think about it, it's super brilliant, I have to say. Okay. The minors. So we have the elixirs as the cups, as the water element. I picked up 2 of elixirs. When I was shuffling the deck, I was like, give me some cups energy, some water energy. And these were the cards that jumped for this particular video that we're doing right now. 2 of elixirs. And we know that 2 of cups traditionally is a highly favorable card. So you see these white little flowers, and then you see like these little pink purpley colored flowers and little pops of green. You've got some full exposed passion tincture and love tonic. It's a highly favorable card. And then you take a look at the numerological associations, and you combine it all together with what you just generally know about what you know about pairing and coupling up with the number 2, and you're getting somewhere. So I love that this card jumped to demonstrate the highs of the water element. You know, elation, connection, feeling a soulmate connection, feeling, in sync with someone, a synergy, a soulmate energy when you're seeing this card pop up in a reading, right? And then, so I have 2 cards to talk about here. And these jumped, and I'm excited that they did, because you know how some folks are like, when I am looking for a new deck, I look at the Lover's card, I look at the Death card, I look at Judgment or the World card or whatever card to decide if I'm going to get this deck or not. I have a few cards that I go to help me with that decision on if I add a deck to my wish list and then to my collection now. And the 5 of Cups or 5 of Elixirs and the 8 of Elixirs or 8 of Cups are definitely cards that I check out to decide if I'm going to get a deck or not. The 6 of Swords is also another deck that I look at, because when we're talking to a lot of folks who are in a season of having to let go and move forward and move on, and many of us are finding ourselves in that moment in our life, I need cards that are going to bring it in that area, because these cards are constantly coming up in readings. Okay, so we have the 5 of Elixirs. Let's first talk about that. I promise you that it's a halfway promise. If the next elements are going to go faster, we'll see. So we have the 5 here of Elixirs, 5 of Cups, 5 of Water. And what's showing is morphine fever remedy up here, this bottle right here with this label, with the brain showing here. And then cyanide's got the pelvis. Okay, cyanide pills doesn't exactly say what it treats, but it tells you how often to take it. Or at least it says 4 capsules mixed with water. Okay, just get all up in your system, all that negative medicine into your system. And then we have Fitzpatrick Pharmaceuticals Passion Tincture, which is partially obstructed by this green leaf here. And then we've got blue flowers. So then you look at your Tarot Color Association's video that I recorded for you. And you start to pull information from that, from your numerological associations. Also got you covered that there on a video. You look at that and you're like, oh, what's obscured, what I cannot see, this is completely obscured, this bottle. And then this bottle right here, there's joy peeking out, but I really can't see it. Do I not want to see it, or am I ignoring it willfully or subconsciously? I'm just not willing to see the silver lining in the situation. I'm not willing to see it for whatever reason. Sometimes this is my blind spot. Same thing with the 8 of Elixirs. I am such a fan of this card. So if you're new to tarot and you're new to pips particularly, this is a helpful one to get into, because you can do the color associations. And then to help you out, and you can do numerological associations and elemental associations and correspondences. But then they have little labels on the bottle of the elixirs. Despair, Let Go Potion, Soul Journey, Aura Cleanse, The Void, Wake Up Potion. Okay? These are such beautiful little triggers for you to remember about what the 8 of Cups or 8 of Water is all about. And so if you're new to exploring pip decks, or you're new to exploring tarot in general, and you're feeling like, oh, I'm looking at a little spider climbing up his kite. It's quite satisfying for some reason. He's got his little web together. Sorry. So it's just super helpful to have a pip deck to kind of just break it down for you in a way that is simple. Not a lot going on in the images. You're able to focus in on certain correspondences that you can always rely on from deck to deck, situation to situation, question to question, querent to querent. And then we have the Queen of Elixirs. I'm not going to spend too much time here with her. Just wanted to point out that in this particular deck, the courts, the pages, knights, queens and kings, they actually have like a little skeleton body that kind of resembles what I would imagine what a female body or, smaller statured person is. And then we have this beautiful pink peony flowers with touches of green. So if I was looking at this as a reader, I'm looking at the colors to help to inform my readings. I'm looking, of course, the question, but also what I know about the Queen of Cups and what is the color green telling me, what is my knowledge of what the Queen of Cups is all about to answer the question. All right, guys. Now we're moving on to the next suit. Be right back. Okay, we're moving on to the fire element. And in the Antique Anatomy Tarot, the fire element or the wands element is depicted as the suit of rods. And the major arcana cards is the Empress, the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Devil, and the World cards. And a great definition that I was inspired by the guidebook is here. We have the earth element represents creation, inspiration, goals, drive, passion, and lust. If handled with care, this element can be very useful. So that fire energy can be very useful. However, faulty handling can lead to danger, a moderately fast-moving energy. So with the moderately fast-moving energy, I'm associating that with the timing of weeks. With the suit of water or the suit of cups or suit of elixirs, I associate that with the timing of days. The fastest moving energy, you can either be, high vibing and feeling a lot of joy or feeling a lot of sadness, but it is a fast moving, fleeting type of energy. That is the water suit. But in the rods, the timing for me of rods or wands is weeks. Is a moderately moving energy because you are dealing with goals, drive, passion, and something building like lust. And it is not as fleeting as emotions are, all right? So that's how I tie it into this element. That's how I tie my little meanings into the elements. Okay, let's get into these cards here. So I promised to move faster. Now, the suit of rods for majors, we have the Emperor. And the Emperor represents the timing of Aries, which is right along with what I have for timing for the Emperor card, like March 21st to April 20th. So if you are someone who works with timing, that could be very important, but also just kind of to look at, like if somebody's like, questioning about a person who like their astrological sign comes into question, you see a lot of fire energy and particularly the Emperor. You could be like, oh, there is possibly someone with a sun, moon, or rising or heavy fire energy in their chart. This kind of personality, what we associate with the fire energies is particularly the Aries of fire energies, leader, a little headstrong, a little, go get it, more so than the rest of the signs, like they are ready to boss up. The Emperor, and they're ready, to organize and to execute a plan and have people and things kind of fall in line and work for them. That authority figure that we either need or need to be, in our given situation with the Emperor card. So then we have the Strength card, which is for me always the Leo. Always the Leo. So if you, again, you're thinking about timing, you can look to the timing of mid-July to mid-August, or mid to late August, I should say, for the, so. And then what's cool, like I mentioned before, you take those color associations, you tie that in, and you're able to really glean a lot of good information with the cards. That's why people love pips, I think. I think I finally figured out the trick to why people love these so much. Okay, we have the Wheel card. The Wheel, for me, is represented by the timing of November 21st to December 20th. So there's that, there's going to be differences, but I love that this creator took the time to break down the different correspondences and associations, like numerology, like color correspondences. I love that because you can take all of that information and combine it and then have a bang on reading. We have the Temperance. Okay, so Temperance. Next up is the Tower. Okay, for me, this jived because it was March 21st to April 20th, which is very much Aries energy to me. The Sun, also representing Leo time. And then we have the rods depicted in different, so for example, we have the Knight of Rods. And we've got these different little color flowers here. We know that Knights are about action, taking action, moving forward, and then we know for the rods, it's associated with creation, inspiration, goals, drive, and passion and lust. So if you're in a love reading and, there's a question about what is somebody going to do next, and this card comes up, the Knight of Rods, they're going to pursue their lust, they're going to pursue their passion for you or towards the relationship, or they're going to be pursuing some level of passion, like if other cards show up, that they may be out there sowing their little royal oats and dating other people, but they are in an active space of pursuing what they're passionate about. If this comes up in a career reading, this is about you endeavoring and going after your goals and really pushing through and taking actionable steps that you can check off your list when you see this card come up. We've got the Ace of Rods, and I love this about the suit of rods in this deck, is that this is one of the suits, and there's not a lot, but this is one of the suits that pulls different colors from card to card, whereas in the suit of blades or suit of swords, it's just white, black, and green. This deck will have orange, it will have yellow for the rods, it will have orange, yellow, pink, red. We see that here. We see that here in the Ace of Rods. This was the Knight. This is the Seven of Rods. And here is the Five of Rods. Okay. So check out, please check out in the links below, in the description box, the links to the numerological associations as well as the color correspondences, because it's exciting to be able to pick up on what is, the correspondences and then see them in your readings, whether you are working with a fully illustrated deck or not. You're going to be able to use this information. It's exciting stuff. All right, I'll be back. Okay, we are moving on to the air element. And in the Antique Anatomy Tarot, that is the suit of blades, or what we know as the suit of air, or the suit of swords. The major arcana cards depicted are the Fool, the Magician, the Lovers, Justice, and the Star. And the air element is associated with your thoughts, what's on your mind, intellect, ideas, anxiety, and anguish. This element calls for new perspectives in dealing with challenges, the mental challenges, right? It is a markedly fast-moving energy. So, like I've mentioned before in other elements, I have something associated with the air. For me, the air is associated with the season of winter and the timing of months. Okay? So that's how I have that in my mind. I know that the creator of this deck has a different understanding for the seasons associated with the coins and with the blades, but I have my own, so I'm sharing what my personal one is, and it's just something that feels right to me, and you will know what's right for you in terms of how you associate your timing, your seasons. Those things are a little more fluid in terms of how you work with your constructs of your tarot cards, because it's important to have that before you go into a reading so you're confident when you're looking at what's coming up. All right, let's get into the cards representing the suit of blades, representing the air element. Okay, let's get into it. So, I am very much into the air element because my sun sign is Aquarius, so my ears always perk up when I am hearing about, air signs like Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. But also when I'm working with the cards, I'm picking up on that energy as well. So the majors that are associated with the air element is the Fool. I associate the timing, and so this is where the deck creator and I jive. The Fool with January 21st to February 20th, so the season of Aquarius. The Magician, I actually assigned 2 time periods for this card. There's only like a few in the majors that I give double time frames, and the Magician, one of its time frames is Gemini. So we'll just talk about Gemini for time's sake. And so that's one of the time periods that I associate with the Magician. This is an air element here, at least according to the tarot deck creator, Claire Cashapp. The Lovers also associated with the astrological sign Gemini. Timing for me, Gemini. That my mom's, she's a true Gemini. She's May 23rd. So, like the end of May to mid-June. Got that Gemini. My son, my baby, my middle child, he is a Gemini. And so, yeah, I'm very familiar with that energy. Justice. Okay, so Justice here. Got that Libra energy going on. Air element. The Star, also like astrologically associated with the Aquarian energies. So I'm an Aquarius. My birthday's February 10th. So if you're thinking about timing when you're working with your cards, and you get, this major arcana card of the Star that comes up, and your Aquarian is asking, I wonder when this might possibly happen, and you get a clue with this Star card in terms of timing. Or, if you're talking about the personification of a person, like what is their essence? They have a lot of air energy. Let's say you saw all these cards in their reading. You're like, wow, this person is either an air, I'm about to say Aries. Sorry, that's my sun oh gosh, guys, I'm getting all confused. I'm Aquarius sun, rising Aries, moon is Sag. So let's say you see all this air energy going on. You're like, wow, this person is like either a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, or they just really embody those type of qualities of really up in their mind and their head space and dealing with ideas, thoughts, etc. You know, even their line of work is along those lines. So yeah. Anyways, here's the Ace of Blades. Okay, this is interesting. I think it's one of the few cards in the Antique Anatomy that depicts different colors in terms of, you know, we have some like red, pops of red here, pops of yellow, but typically in this particular deck, the suit of blades has mostly white, black, and green. So, yeah, your homework assignment is to give me a really good in-depth meaning with the tarot and color associations, the numerological associations, all that good stuff. I want to hear from you on what you derive from those different correspondences for your meaning. I wanted to also show you as examples here what the rest of the suit looks like. And we have it here, the Ten of Blades. Okay. Eight of Blades. And the Page of Blades. Okay. All right, I'm going to move on to the last suit because, like I said, I could be here all day talking your ear off. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's move on to the final element, which is the earth element. This is the suit of coins in the Antique Anatomy Tarot, and the earth element major arcana cards are as follows: the Empress, the Hierophant, the Hermit, the Devil, and the World. And the earth element represents the physical world, what's tangible, and of course, earthly matters. It is a grounded, stable, and slow-moving energy. It is associated with the five senses. Okay, so it's associated with the five senses, meaning that you can taste it, you can smell it, you can see it, you can touch it, you can hear it. It is in your physical experience when you are talking about the earth element. And oftentimes when we're thinking about the earth element, we're thinking of like money, you know, that's tangible. Career, which results in tangible things. The work product that you put out. Also your home, your physical body and well-being. So the earth element here. All right, let's look at the cards. Let's get into these cards. So now we are at the last element, the earth element. And naturally, we've got the Empress representing the earth element. For me, the earth element with the Empress is that Taurus energy or that Virgo energy. So in terms of timing, this is one of the few major arcana cards that I associate two time periods, and this would be one of them. And yeah, and I'm in love with this particular Empress card for a number of reasons that I won't go into today. We can always chat about that in a live discussion in the future. All right, so the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is also for me representing the time period of Taurus, you know, like that late April going into May, mid to early late May, and yeah, getting that earth energy. For time's sake, I'm not going to continue to mull over every single card like I have been, but you know I want to. The Hermit. totally makes sense that it is an earth element card, right? And it, for me, as well as in this deck, so the earth element is representing Virgo, the astrological sign of Virgo. So like late August to September. And I associate the earth element to the timing of years and the season of autumn. And, you know, I don't think that the deck creator associates the earth element to those particular things like I do, but that's completely okay. I can still work with this deck. I can still work with the guidebook. It's just that there's some things that I, do my own thing on. But what is consistent is the earth element associated that I've always associated the Hermit to, which is earth, as does this deck creator. So we have that understanding in common. That how we look at the elements and the cards, we have that in common. Okay, we have the Devil. This is strongly representing Capricorn energy here. And so Capricorn for me is like that just before Christmas time period to like January 20 something ish. And then the World, also representing that same time period of what we experienced with the Capricorn. So that's what I associate the World card in terms of timing. That's what I do, but you can adopt your own way. It's important to ponder and determine and meditate on what is your own way as a reader. Okay, and then try to stick to it. Don't be flip-floppy unless you're intuitively called to be flip-floppy. Then, of course, be flip-floppy. For me, I can't be flip-floppy. I have to have some consistency here. Okay, so now I'm looking at the earth element in terms of the minors. We have the 5 of coins in the antique anatomy. Okay, got all these, blues and purples and greens and little pops of yellow with the 5 of coins. I also shuffled and received, or this jumped, the 6 of coins. Balanced energy here. You've got that balanced equal measure, top to bottom, as above, so below. Manifestation. Physical representation of your manifestation in the earth element. The 7 of coins. Okay. And then the Queen of coins. I don't know why that regal navy blue just does something for me in a way positive way. I don't know what it is, why I really like something inside of me when I see this shade of blue just stands at alert in a way that not all the other colors evoke inside of me. Do you have colors like that evoke something inside of you that makes you stand at like energetic attention? Like, oh, I'm here. I'm it could be my Aquarian energies here with that blue, but I'm curious to know if you all experience that phenomenon. All right, guys, that's it for the earthly elements, for all the elements and the tarot. Let me hear from you. I want to hear from you in terms of what we talked about today in this video. Any things that come to your mind that you want to share, please share in the comments below, because I'm looking for those comments and I'm going to be responding back, because this is my baby. This tarot study that I've been doing here with this deck, it means a lot to me to make sure that people are being able to engage with it in an effective way. All right, guys, take good care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. And if you know of someone who is learning the tarot, please share these videos with them. Share my channel with them so that way they can partake in all this, learning we're doing over here together. All right. Bye, guys.